there's ever a time to just give this training thing the old college try, it's now, because all my friends in finance are getting anyway. So like, I'll give it the try. So I just did that. And when this first job got pulled out from under me before I ever even started, I was like, oh, maybe they're all right. Maybe this training thing is a pipe dream. So I started just applying to just random jobs again. I was a sociology major, which is like kind of a major, to be honest. Unless you're going to be a sociology professor, anything you do is going to be unrelated to sociology. But I started doing these, applying for these jobs in market research. I applied to this hedge fund, just random stuff. And while I was doing that, I was reading a T-Nation article written by Mike Boyle and clicked through his bio and found out that the gym was 45 minutes from my mom's house. So I just drove down there with a resume wearing like a golf polo shirt. I didn't know how you're supposed to like dress to a trainer interview. And just walked in.
I still don't know how to dress to a trainer interview.
Well, now I think dressing up would actually be a demerit. I think you got to wear gym clothes.
Yeah, like, I think so.
You know, I think gym clothes is the play. But at the time,
the way I dress up is like my gym clothes, but a shirt tucked in, but still in the gym clothes.
I don't know if you're like me, but I live in sweats. But I have like workout sweats and then like what I consider like dressy sweats that I can wear out. They're just like probably the next size down.
Dress sweats.
Yeah, like I have the bigger size and then like the smaller size, which like to me looks dressy, but it probably doesn't. Same with t-shirts. I have like one size and like the smaller size, whatever. If I haven't been lifting, I wear the smaller size.
There you go.
That type of thing. But so that anyway, I walked into Boyle's and just was very honest. I said, I have no ostensible qualifications to be here, but I really like training. I've read everything you've ever written. I definitely know more than my credentials indicate, but you know, until you see that, I'll just like mop the floors or whatever. And he was like, can you start tomorrow?
Nice.
And so I just got an internship, interned there for like 5 months, and then worked there for 4.5 years. And that was the best thing I ever did. I think a lot of trainers, if you're not familiar with Mike Boyle strength and conditioning, first off, Mike is a legend, I think. Well, you know, kind of really, really bright guy, and then also just a nice guy. But the gym at Boyle's is one of the best environments for a young trainer because they have more people come through. In a summer day, they could have 400 people come through the door.
Wow.
So I've always thought working there is like learning a language abroad in the sense, you know, you could like, I took Spanish in school for 7-8 years, but I never paid attention, cheated on all my homework, you know, just did, you know, memorized stuff with no intent to learn it and barely knew any Spanish. Then I went to Spain the summer between high school and college and was just there for 7 weeks and learned Spanish.
Yeah,
you know,
you just got to immerse yourself in the culture.
But that's sort of training. You know, I had read everything under the sun, and then when you actually meet your first client, you're like, oh, most of this shit actually doesn't apply when I'm working with a real person. It's all like, but the best way to get good at training is to train. And so they truly do have maybe 400 people come through in the summer. So by the 1 year into training, I had trained pro athletes. I trained 9-year-olds. I trained a blind guy. I trained a guy with one leg. I trained really overweight adults. I trained almost every different kind of sport. And so there's really no substitute for that. I'm so glad that I think a lot of trainers now, I sound like bitter when I say this type of stuff, but I do think that a lot of people's mentalities have changed where they just want to like make money right away, train pro athletes right away, and do all this stuff. But I think that none of that matters if you're not a good trainer.
Yeah, most of them actually skip those steps as well. They just go to like online training. It's like start an Instagram. It's like you haven't really trained anybody. It's kind of detrimental to like give out advice online if you haven't trained like hundreds of clients already.
Oh, for sure. And that's so my first 4 years was spent just doing that and working in a high volume training facility. I had a very broad clientele, and that really helped me. And then also, you know, I was so lucky because we used to do staff meetings every Tuesday, and it would either be Mike talking or he would have guest lectures, and it was like Dan John, Kelly Starrett, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I just got to learn from all these really great people. And then put it into practice, because there's also probably 30 to 40 coaches between there's two gyms that are all just people like us that just eat and breathe training. So it was a great place to be. And then while I was there, I kept this blog. I'm like the least tech savvy person you probably ever met, but it was called Ben's Blog on benbruno.blogspot.com, this like free site.
I think I was a subscriber.
Oh, really?
Early on.
Yeah. So I just used to, and I had this YouTube page, and God, I missed that blog. It was fun. I just would share what I was doing. And I think what served me in the long run, I think a lot of people are short-sighted when they try to think about their career, but I've always thought, when I look at a 23-year-old kid that has this like crazy bio, I'm like, dude, you're full of shit.
Yeah.
You know, there's no way.
Yeah.
And when my first blog post was like basically telling the story I just told you and saying, I'm going to share what I learned in my internship. I said I was an intern, you know, and I was just very honest with what I was doing. And you kind of get a community through that, because there's a lot of people. You realize if you're just honest and you say, hey, I'm just trying to learn this thing, there's a lot of people that are trying to learn too. Mm-hmm. So we just sort of like learn together.